Good morning. This is Ryan Richards, CSCS and FMS from the Sun and Out Golf Club in beautiful Edwards, Colorado. Thanks for joining us today as we discuss the kettlebell swing. Today I'm going to show you the technical nuances to the kettlebell swings, how to program this wonderful movement into your exercise program, show you some novice mistakes that are common when you're learning it, and also talk about weight progressions as you get stronger with the movement. Before you start using weight with the kettlebell swing, it's imperative that you use your own body weight first. Right now I'm going to show you how to get set up for a proper swing. The most important thing before you use a kettlebell swing is to learn the proper hip hinge. The proper hip hinge just requires that you put your hands right in your hip crease, get your feet hip width apart, bend your knees just slightly, and what you're going to do is break your hands in your hip crease by pushing your butt backwards. Notice we're sitting back. We're not shuffling the knees forward or breaking the knees forward. What we're trying to do is create tension in the posterior chain, so the back of the legs and the back muscles. And the best way to do that, to get that cue, is to put your hands or your fingers right in your hips and actually push your butt back and pretend like you're pushing your butt back into a wall or towards the road in our case. This is the proper movement pattern that grooves the kettlebell swing. And essentially all the kettlebell swing is this hip hinge where you're breaking the fingers. Once you're into this position, a good way to practice before you use weight is to actually jump. So hinge, butt back, butt back, butt back. Snap your hips and knees and jump. The kettlebell swing is exactly a jump, except your feet don't leave the ground. When starting with the kettlebell swing, it's important to place the bell a good 1.5 feet away from you. This will allow you to hike the bell in between your legs. If you start over the bell, you're going to end up pulling it up and you're going to have to hinge from the top. So begin with your feet just about shoulder width apart. Get into that proper hinge position. Put your shoulder blades in your back hip pocket. So we're going to hinge, butt back, grab the bell. You're going to hike and snap, just like you're jumping. Common novice mistakes when people learn this initially is to turn it into a squat. Right now I'm going to demonstrate the improper way. The proper way. Improper way. So again, key point, you're pushing the hip back and you're snapping the hips and knees forcefully. Make sure you're hinging at the hips using minimal knee bend and also minimize any squatting movement. When you begin kettlebell swing training, I highly recommend that men start with a 16 kilogram or 35-pound kettlebell, and women anywhere from 8 to 12 kilogram bells are just perfect for the novice female. When you're programming it, start with repetitions in the 5 range. No more than 5 repetitions with really crisp form. Focus on the hinge, focus on the snap, and perform that for a few weeks to see how your body's adjusting. Once you feel comfortable, it's time to start swinging for higher repetitions. One of the best ways to do this initially is to do an interval of 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off for maybe up to a few minutes. As you become more comfortable with the swing, you can increase the interval time, increase the total length of time. Also noteworthy, before you start any sort of kettlebell swing training, it's imperative that you're able to touch your toes first. If you can't touch your toes, we need to screen you and do some corrective exercise beforehand, as this lack of mobility or flexibility could put undue stress on your lower back. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.